Beloved, money will never answer to stress. The more you worry about it, the further it runs from you. Stress is not a magnet for supply, it is a wall that blocks it. The truth is this: the moment you fear lack, you invite lack. But the moment you expect abundance, you open the floodgates of heaven. I tell you now, if you are lying awake at night rehearsing bills in your mind, if your chest tightens at the thought of tomorrow's needs, if you are begging the universe to send money while your heart trembles in doubt, you are sending out the wrong decree. The law responds not to panic, but to faith. Spirit does not move because you fear. Spirit moves because you trust. Hear me well. Your stress about money is a false god. It demands your worship, your energy, your peace, and it gives you nothing in return. But faith in divine supply, faith in the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, that faith produces miracles. You must choose today which altar you kneel at, the altar of fear or the altar of faith. So speak with me now, not in trembling but in triumph. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am provided, I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. Hold this truth, beloved, and you will see your life rearranged. Beloved, stress is the great thief of your abundance. It parades itself as concern, as caution, as responsibility. But do not be deceived. Stress is not wisdom, it is worship at the wrong altar. It bows before fear and crowns lack as king. And what you worship, you magnify. What you magnify, you manifest. Think for a moment. When you stress about money, where is your faith? Is it in the God of endless supply? Or is it in the illusion of bills, debts, and numbers that seem too large to bear? Stress is misplaced faith. It is faith in shortage, faith in delay, faith in failure. And as long as you bow before that false god, you cut yourself off from the true source of all provision. The law is simple. What you fear, you draw near. What you expect, you invite in. Stress is constant fear, rehearsed day and night. It says, what if the money doesn't come? What if I can't pay this? What if I lose everything? And as these words flow through your mind and out of your lips, you are writing invitations to lack. But listen closely, beloved. You do not have to live this way. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good. Stress is nothing but fear stretched thin across your days. And fear, once unmasked, has no power. It is an illusion that crumbles when the light of truth shines upon it. The truth is that God is your supply, not man, not wages, not circumstance. If one channel closes, another opens. If one door shuts, heaven swings wide another. You are never without supply because you are never without God. Let me give you a picture. Imagine standing with your hands clenched tightly in fists. Inside those fists, you clutch worry, fear, and stress. Now imagine Spirit trying to pour blessings into your hands. Can you receive them with closed fists? No. Your grip must release. Stress is the clenched fist. Faith is the open hand. When you open your hand, when you let go of fear, the flow of supply rushes in to fill it. I have seen it countless times. A woman fears she cannot pay her rent, so she rehearses worry until it drains her strength. Yet the moment she surrenders and says, God is my supply, and supply is endless, suddenly a new source opens, an unexpected check arrives, an opportunity appears. Was it magic? No, beloved, it was law. Stress blocked it. Faith released it. Stress convinces you that you must carry the entire burden yourself. It whispers, if you don't figure this out, you'll fail. But faith says, rest. Divine intelligence is already arranging the way. Stress is self-reliance in disguise, but faith is God-reliance in truth. When you lean on your own understanding, the weight is crushing. But when you lean on the everlasting arms, you find peace and provision flowing freely. Hear me, money does not come because you worry over it. Money comes because you align with the law of supply. Worry repels it, trust attracts it. Stress is wasted energy, a counterfeit form of prayer that produces no answer. Each anxious thought is like knocking on a locked door, when all along there is an open gate behind you. Turn around, stop pounding on lack, and start walking through the gate of abundance. So how do you break the spell of stress? By declaring the truth louder than the lies. Each time your chest tightens at the sight of a bill, speak over it. This is already paid in full. God is my banker, Spirit is my source, and I do not stress about money. Each time you worry about tomorrow's needs, say boldly, my supply is endless, my provision is secure, money comes to me easily and on time. Replace every fear thought with a faith decree, and the false god of stress will crumble under your feet. Beloved, stress is not a badge of honor. It is not proof that you are responsible. True responsibility is alignment with divine law. True wisdom is knowing that your part is to speak the word, to expect supply, to walk in gratitude, and to leave the how and when to Spirit. Stress says, I must figure it out. Faith says, it is already figured out. Stress says, I have no way. Faith says, God makes a way where there is no way. Today, lay down the idol of stress. Refuse to worship it another moment. Lift your eyes to the true source, open your hands to receive, and speak the decree that will realign your life. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am prospered. I am provided for, under grace and in perfect ways. Let that be your anthem, your prayer, your shield against fear, and watch as the illusion of lack dissolves and the reality of abundance flows in. Beloved, one of the greatest secrets of divine law is what Florence Scovel Shinn called the Law of Substitution. It is the understanding that you cannot hold two thoughts at the same time. One must always drive out the other. Light and darkness cannot occupy the same space. Fear and faith cannot sit on the same throne. Stress and peace cannot rule the same heart. So if stress has claimed its place in your mind, you cannot beg it to leave. You must replace it. You substitute fear with faith, worry with decree, lack with abundance. This is the way to break the pattern. Every time you find yourself circling the same anxious thought, how will I pay this? What if I don't have enough? What if it doesn't come in time? You must immediately substitute it with truth. Declare boldly, I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Speak it, feel it, and see it until the worry fades into silence. Let me tell you this, nature abhors a vacuum. If you rip out weeds and plant nothing in their place, the weeds will return. So it is with the mind. If you silence worry without filling the space with truth, worry will creep back in. This is why substitution is so powerful. It ensures that what once was filled with fear is now filled with faith. Every time fear arises, you respond with decree, and in time, faith becomes your automatic response. Think of it this way. If a child is crying over a toy they lost, you do not only tell them to stop crying, you give them another toy, something greater, something that captures their attention. Soon the tears dry, and the smile returns. Beloved, your mind is that child. Stress is the broken toy. Faith is the gift placed in its hands. The moment you give it faith, the tears of fear vanish. Florence said, a person knowing the power of the word becomes very careful of his conversation. Why? Because words are the tools of substitution. When you hear yourself say, I can't afford this, you must immediately substitute. I have endless supply, and what is mine comes to me with ease. When you hear yourself say, money is running out, replace it instantly. Money flows freely to me, and I am always taken care of. The law works every time you apply it. You may say, but Florence, what if I don't feel it yet? Beloved, the feeling will follow the word if you persist. You cannot always control the first thought of fear, but you can control the second. You may not choose the shadow that tries to creep in, but you can light the lamp that sends it fleeing. Substitution is your lamp. Use it until it becomes your habit. Let us practice now. When stress whispers, there isn't enough, answer, there is always more than enough. When fear says, I am late, I am behind, I am sinking, substitute, My supply is always on time, never late, never lacking. When lack sneers, you will never be free. Replace it with, I am free, I am rich, I am prosperous, in mind, body, and affairs. Each substitution plants a seed, and seeds do not remain seeds, they grow into harvests. Beloved, this is not pretending, this is aligning. You are not lying to yourself, you are reminding yourself of the truth Spirit has already declared. Stress is the lie, lack is the illusion, fear is the shadow. The truth is that you are always supplied, always guided, always cared for. Substitution is the way you shift your mind from the lie back to the truth. And do not grow weary if the substitutions are many at first. The soil of your mind may be overrun with weeds from years of worry, but every weed you pull and replace with faith is one step closer to a garden of abundance. In time, the weeds grow fewer, the flowers spread wider, and peace becomes the natural landscape of your soul. So here is your practice. Listen carefully to your own words. Catch the whispers of stress before they grow into shouts, and every time they appear, substitute immediately with a decree of truth. Train your tongue to serve faith, and soon your mind will follow. Train your mind to serve abundance, and soon your life will mirror it. Speak with me now, as a seal upon this section. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for under grace and in perfect ways. Let this substitution take root in you, and watch as fear loses its place, stress dissolves, and abundance takes its rightful throne. Beloved, the imagination is the workshop of spirit. What you see inwardly, you magnetize outwardly. This is why stress is so destructive. It forces you to rehearse lack in the theater of your mind. You picture bills piling higher. You imagine bank accounts running dry. You feel the weight of not enough pressing down on you. And because your inner vision is focused on shortage takes root in your affairs. But hear me clearly. You can turn the tide by painting a new picture. What you visualize with faith, you materialize with certainty. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word and your imagination must agree. The spoken word sends out the decree, and imagination clothes it in form. If you say, I am rich, but still see yourself in rags, the decree is weakened. But if you say, I am rich, and then see yourself clothed in plenty, walking in peace, living in abundance, then heaven rushes to confirm your vision. The two must walk hand in hand, decree and picture, affirmation and imagination. So let us practice now. Close your eyes, beloved, and imagine before you every bill that once caused you distress. See them not as weights upon your soul, but as slips of paper stamped boldly with red letters, paid in full. See the ink shining, feel the relief rising in your chest, hear yourself whisper, it is done. Do not see the mountain of debt, see the freedom of deliverance. Do not feel the chain of burden, feel the wings of release. Now, go further. Picture your wallet or your purse, not empty, not thin, but full, so full it hardly closes. See your bank account, the numbers not dwindling but multiplying. See the checks arriving, the payments flowing, the opportunities opening. Let your mind become a screen upon which Spirit paints provision. And do not only see it, feel it. Feel what it would be like to walk into a store without fear, to pay a bill without worry, to give freely without shrinking back. Feel the calm of knowing that money comes easily, that supply is always on time, that you are never left out, never forgotten, never in want. That feeling is faith clothed in emotion, and Spirit responds to feeling with the same force it responds to words. The law says, whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe you have received them, and you shall have them. To believe is not to wish, it is to feel as though it is already done. When you walk in the vibration of already mine, the outer world rearranges to match. The unpaid bill turns to paid. The empty hand turns to full. The worry turns to peace. So each time stress whispers lack, Do not argue with it. Close your eyes, speak your decree, and paint a new picture. Say aloud, money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for. Then imagine money flowing like a river toward you, streams of supply from every direction, covering every need, overflowing into every corner of your life. Say, my supply is endless, my provision is secure. Then see yourself resting in peace, smiling with joy, walking in confidence. Beloved, your visualization is not fantasy, it is prophecy. You are not pretending when you imagine, you are planting seeds. Stress imagines disaster and reaps disaster. Faith imagines abundance and reaps abundance. Choose this day what picture you will allow in your mind, for the picture you hold is the harvest you shall see. Practice this daily. In the morning, before stress has a chance to enter, close your eyes and see the day already supplied. At night, before sleep carries you into dreams, see tomorrow's needs already met. Let your imagination be disciplined, not wandering to fear but anchored in faith. And soon, your subconscious will believe it, and what the subconscious accepts, life delivers. Remember, beloved, you are not bound by what the outer world shows. The outer is but a reflection of the inner. Change the picture within, and the outer must follow. Bills may arrive, but you need not tremble. Instead, you look at them and say, this is already paid. Angels of supply are at work. I am rich, I am free, I am provided for under grace. And so it will be. Let us seal this practice now with a decree and vision combined. Say with me, I do not stress about money. I see myself rich. I feel myself provided for. I know my supply is endless and always on time. Money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace, and I rest in peace. Hold that picture, beloved. Feel that truth. For what you see with faith, you shall surely receive. Beloved, truth without practice is like a lamp without oil. It may shine for a moment, but soon the flame dies. To keep the light of abundance burning, you must feed it daily. This is why affirmations are not optional, they are essential. They are the rhythm of faith, the heartbeat of manifestation. Each decree spoken in faith is a spark, and when repeated daily, those sparks ignite into a fire that no wind of worry can extinguish. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must train your mind to speak only what you want to see. The tongue is the gatekeeper of your destiny, and daily affirmations are how you keep that gate aligned with truth. Stress wants to slip in through careless words, through sighs of defeat, through constant complaints. But affirmations slam the gate shut to fear and open it wide to supply. So, here is your daily practice. In the morning, before the world distracts you, stand still and declare, God is my supply, and my supply is endless. I begin this day rich in faith, rich in peace, and rich in provision. I do not stress about money, for money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace. Repeat it 3 times, not as empty words, but as living decree. Let each word carry authority, as if the universe itself must bow in agreement. As you speak, see the day unfolding in abundance. During the day, whenever stress tries to rise, answer it immediately with affirmation. If you feel fear about a bill, place your hand over it and declare, this is already paid in full. The same spirit that created the universe provides for me now. I walk in perfect supply. If you catch yourself worrying about tomorrow, stop at once and say, my future is secure. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. I am always taken care of, under grace and in perfect ways. Do not wait for stress to grow strong before you speak. Cut it off at the root with swift decree. Remember the law of substitution. Every fear must be replaced by faith, every worry by a word of truth. And at night, before you close your eyes, release the burdens of the day with this lullaby of affirmation. I rest in divine abundance. I sleep surrounded by angels of supply. No lack can touch me, no worry can bind me, for I am provided for as I dream. I wake refreshed, renewed, and rich in every way. Make these affirmations your companions. Write them on slips of paper and place them where your eyes will fall on your mirror, your wallet, your desk. Record them in your own voice and play them as you fall asleep. Whisper them as you walk, speak them as you drive, declare them as you cook. Let them become as natural as breathing. Beloved, repetition is not weakness, it is strength. The subconscious does not change by hearing truth once, but by hearing it again and again until it becomes the only truth it knows. Just as water, drop by drop, carves stone, so do affirmations, word by word, carve new realities in your life. Stress may have written its story on your heart for years, but affirmations rewrite it line by line until lack is erased and abundance remains. Let me give you a rhythm you can carry daily. I do not stress about money. God is my source, and supply is unlimited. Money flows to me freely and abundantly. All my bills are paid in full, under grace and in perfect ways. I live in ease, not struggle. I rest in faith, not fear. Wealth surrounds me. Prosperity fills me. Abundance follows me. Say them morning, noon, and night. Let them sink so deep that when stress tries to knock, these words answer instead. Remember this: affirmations are not begging, they are commanding. You are not asking the universe to consider your request. You are declaring what is already true by divine law. Money is not outside you, teasing you like a cruel master. It is already yours in the unseen, waiting for your decree to call it forth. Each affirmation is a call, and supply always answers. So take up this practice, beloved. Do not let a day pass without clothing yourself in affirmations. Just as you would not step into the cold without a coat, do not step into the world without your decrees. They are your shield, your magnet, your guarantee of peace. And soon, you will notice, stress will fade, fear will weaken, lack will dissolve. In its place will rise a steady calm, a quiet confidence, a radiant flow of provision. You will live in the truth that has always been yours. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Beloved, we have walked together through the valley of fear, and we have seen that stress is a false master, powerless to rule the child of God. We have uncovered the law that decrees abundance. We have practiced substitution. We have painted visions of overflow, and we have armed ourselves with daily affirmations. Now it is time to seal this truth with the decree that drives stress away forever. The word decree means more than a wish, more than a hope. It is a law spoken aloud. When a king issues a decree, it does not beg, it commands. When you decree with faith, you are not pleading with the universe. You are commanding spirit to align with its own truth. You are exercising your divine right to live free, to live supplied, to live prospered. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded us, your word is your wand. The wand is not waved in silence, it is spoken. So hear me now. Your days of stressing over money are finished. The false altar of fear is torn down. You no longer serve the god of anxiety, the idol of worry, the shadow of lack. You serve only the living source, the God of endless supply, the spirit that knows no limit. And from this moment forward, you will walk in peace, not panic. You will walk in expectation, not stress. You will walk in the rhythm of provision, not the grasp of fear. Let us decree it together with authority. Speak it boldly, speak it with the voice of certainty, speak it as though the very air must obey. I do not stress about money. I am supplied. I am provided for. I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. My supply is endless. My provision is secure, and my prosperity flows without interruption. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. All that belongs to me by divine right cannot be withheld, and it arrives now in perfect form. Say it again, with greater force. I do not stress about money. Stress has no place in me, for I live in faith. I live in abundance. I live in peace. God is my source, and God never fails. Beloved, let this decree sink into your spirit until it becomes the song of your soul. Stress cannot survive where this word is spoken. Lack cannot linger where this decree is alive. You are not calling something that does not exist. You are claiming what has always been yours. Supply was finished before your need arose. Provision was prepared before the bill arrived. Money was placed in your orbit before the worry ever entered your mind. You are not out of supply, you are only out of alignment. And with this decree, alignment is restored. Walk from this moment with new eyes. When you see a bill, do not see stress. See the words, paid in full. When you see your wallet, do not see lack, see overflow. When you think of tomorrow, do not see uncertainty. See provision already on the way. Let every step be accompanied by the rhythm of this truth. I do not stress about money. My supply is endless. My provision is secure. My prosperity is guaranteed. And when fear tries to return, for it always will, do not tremble. Answer it at once with decree. Do not let a single anxious thought linger unchallenged. Replace it, substitute it, command it to leave. Say aloud, I rest in abundance, I walk in faith, I live in divine supply. And watch as the shadow dissolves before the light of your words. Beloved, stress is no longer your master. You have broken its chains with the wand of your word. You have substituted fear with faith, lack with supply, worry with peace. Now, stand tall, speak boldly, and live freely. For your decree has gone forth, and it will not return void. It will accomplish what you have spoken. So let us seal it one final time. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. I am prospered. I am provided for. I am at peace. Under grace, in perfect ways, my abundance flows now. And so it island. Now, beloved, go in peace, go in confidence, go in prosperity. For the law is fulfilled, the decree is sealed, and your stress has been turned into supply.